let's start with the images. So many images. These are both paper 1 and paper 2. So I think mixed bag of students are also watching. So you can help me with the options, what your thoughts were about these questions. So there was this X-ray in paper 1 where you had a fracture going through and through. So it was going through the body of the vertebra and going into the spinous process. So such a fracture which goes through and through in the spine from anterior till the posterior elements. What do we call this? This is what is called as chance fracture. So इसका आंसर होगा chance fracture. I think there were other options like compression fracture, wedge compression fracture probably. So in that case, you will see this kind of wedging. The posterior elements will not be affected. When you see a fracture line going through and through, that is what is chance fracture. Okay, so I think we agree on this. I'm not seeing any other comments. There must be a bit of a lag, but I think it was not compression. A better answer if it was going. I mean, it depends on the image, but if it was going into the spinous process, and I believe it was a very similar image. And you know what I tell you about the images? Whenever you have a doubt about image, just do a Google search, and usually the first image that props up, no, that is the one which will be asked in the exam, because that's your normally it will be a Wikipedia image. In radio, it will be a Radiopedia image, right? So because those are common creative license and those are the ones the examiners tend to put. And if you do a preliminary search on chance fracture, this is the first image which comes. Yep. So I don't know if this was the exact image, but higher chances of this being asked. So this was chance fracture. Okay. Next. This was the one that I think Apur sir was also referring to. There was a lesion which was a diaphyseal lesion. I have told you guys so many times in bone tumors, you have to focus on the location. Location is the king. You have to see whether it is epiphyseal, metaphyseal, or diaphyseal. A lot of you just saw this Codman's triangle. So many times I've told you, don't see Codman triangle, don't see your onion peel and mark, because they just denote aggressive periosteal reaction. They are not specific for anything. The primary reason why this is Ewing sarcoma is that this is diaphyseal, right? So when you have a diaphyseal permeative, itna permeative, you can't even identify normal bone and abnormal bone, and you see this aggressive periosteal reaction, this becomes Ewing sarcoma, right? So I think the other options were osteosarcoma. One option perhaps was osteomyelitis. Osteomyelitis will not have such aggressive periosteal reaction. Okay, so that is what I believe. So, and I don't know the fourth option. What is the fourth option here? But anyways, I think it is Ewing sarcoma. This is classic Ewing sarcoma. So that is what it is. Even if the patient was stable, I don't think you can rule out a chance fracture on the basis of normal stable patient, right? So chance fracture can sometimes not have a neurological deficit. More likely it will have, because it's a through and through fracture, but it may not also have, right? So that doesn't rule out chance fracture. It depends on the image now. Okay? Right. So this is all of these are first shift. I'll come to second shift later, or it might be mixed bag. What is this? There was an ultrasound image of CHPS. I believe there was some history that they would have given you to suggest it. And we know CHPS is the only one जहाँ पे ultrasound is the investigation of choice. So even if you don't actually know the answer कि ये double bubble है, triple bubble है, वो सब तो X-ray पे दिखेगा ना. So the very fact that this is ultrasound tells you that this is likely to be CHPS. So these are the things we have to pick up in the exam. You may not know the image. You may feel कि अरे ये कैसा MD level CHPS ultrasound पूछ लिया. But then we know CHPS is the only one जहाँ पे ultrasound होता है, right? So this is your hypertrophic pyloric muscle. You can see that the length we have studied two numbers, 16, 4 4s are 16, 16 mm length honi chahiye, thickness should be 4 mm. So that is what you are seeing here. So yeah, they gave you a 6-week-old child with vomiting. So probably they didn't mention non-bilious vomiting. वो दे देते तो एकदम ही simple हो जाता. But still, your answer is pretty evident. ठीक है? The other options were annular pancreas, duodenal atresia. So annular pancreas and duodenal atresia both will show a double bubble. Are you understanding? तो ये दो तो वैसे ही rule out हो गए ना. If two options go have the same presentation, they are anyways ruled out. But I believe this was otherwise easy. Okay, so annular pancreas, duodenal atresia, both can present with duodenal obstruction and will have a double bubble sign. First shift में there was another question on SH. I think 2 images were there. One was an NCCT, which was star of death, the classical one that you know. And साथ में CT angio दिया था. You know CT angio is the investigation of choice for SH because that will show you the aneurysm in the circle of Willis. So I think both of these they had shown. ठीक है, so इसमें कोई doubt नहीं, I believe. So this is subarachnoid hemorrhage. Then there was a question on Garbi classification here. So Garbi classification, this we have studied, I mean, in radiology also. In fact, the last marathon we had, I had discussed this same slide I've picked up from there. So they showed you the water lily sign. Students were saying, ma'am, image utna acha nahi tha. The image was not that great. But still, I believe you can pick out a water lily even in a bad quality image. You should be able to. And then you have Garbi classification. So detached membrane comes to type 2, right? So type 2 is our detached membrane. So the answer there will be 2 for water lily sign. Agar आपको honeycomb appearance दिखाया, if it was honeycomb, then Garbi type 3 होगा, but WHO will be reversed. So for type 2 and type 3, WHO and Garbi go in different directions. Okay, so that's what we had learned. I don't know why they asked Garbi, because in practice, actually, we follow WHO while we are reporting, but still they ended up asking Garbi. But still, so this is what we have discussed. Okay, yeah, this is first shift. This was a slightly tricky question. So here they have given according to there were 2 questions, first of all, from PCPNDT Act. One question was that who constitutes the medical board? Uska answer bata deti hu. I'm sure it will be discussed in forensic also. So lawyer is not a part. You have a radiologist, you have an OBGYN, you have a pediatrician, but you don't have a lawyer in that board. Okay, why? What would a lawyer do? So he is not a part. Dusra question ye tha that there's a woman who's come to you at 20 weeks POG and she's had all girls as live issue, 4 living girl issues, and now she wants to know the sex of the baby. So what should the radiologist do? ऐसे options थे कुछ do ultrasound, look for anomalies, see sex and tell the patient. So obviously this is wrong. We can't disclose the sex according to the PCPNDT Act. You will not refuse an ultrasound. At 20 weeks, we have to do an anomaly scan. So now 2 options very close. Do ultrasound, look for anomalies. One option is see sex and don't tell the patient. One option is neither look nor tell the patient. Now this is tricky. Okay. So see, as a radiologist, we have to sign a PCPNDT form which says that I have not disclosed the sex of the baby to the patient. That's the signature and the undertaking that we have to take whenever we do an antenatal ultrasound. But there are a lot of congenital anomalies which are dependent on the sex of the baby. So it is not like while doing my ultrasound, I'm not going to see the sex of the baby. I'm going to see the sex of the baby, but I am not going to tell the patient, right? So we do see the sex of the baby because a lot of diagnosis of anomalies depends on that. For example, posterior urethral valve can only occur in a male baby, right? So for that, we would see the sex of the baby, but we will not tell the patient. Okay, so this is tricky. You will also have a bit of a controversy, I can tell you right now only. But my opinion is that you see, and what we do in practice, is we see the sex, but we don't tell the patient. Okay, so this is what is important. Neither do we report it. We don't report. If report was in the word, we never report the sex, obviously, because that is equivalent to telling the patient, right? So you don't report it, but you definitely, while examining the ultrasound, take a look at everything being normal. And even ambiguous genitalia certain times can be detected antenatally. How will you pick up ambiguous genitalia? Only by seeing, right? So that is what you will always pick up, because you want to pick up an entire anomaly scan. Is that making sense? Next, this is again from Straight Up Marathon. We had discussed this. You remember I told you, what if left side is here? It means aapne X-ray ulta pakda hai. Remember smart intern story and all we had discussed? So I hope in the joke you didn't forget the X-ray. So this is where you have situs inversus. The stomach fundus bubble is on the right side. The heart is on the right side. There's dextrocardia. You have bronchiectasis. So this is classic Carter-Jenner syndrome. Okay, so this is what you want to remember here. Even if it was 18 weeks POG, that changes absolutely nothing. Anomaly scan can be done from 18 to 22 weeks. Okay, so nothing changes with 18 weeks. Okay, all right, next. This was also something where a lot of students were confused. They showed you, I think, 3 modalities. They showed you an ultrasound, they showed you CT and X-ray of a boy who's having recurrent respiratory infections. If you remember, we have discussed this where I told you, if you see something like diaphragmatic hernia, on the right side, always think of a CPAM, and this is what it was. So in CPAM, congenital pulmonary adenomatoid malformation, what you have are these cystic spaces. It can be multicystic, So on the ultrasound, you can see multicystic, you can see multicystic, and you can see multicystic, okay? So this is what is here. This ultrasound obviously doesn't fit because this is not of this patient. This is an antenatal ultrasound. So this they've just put independently, and that's why the size discrepancy here, it's on the left side, but doesn't matter because they anyway showed an antenatal ultrasound for a young child, which anyways doesn't make sense, but they were just trying to show you that there are multifocal cystic lucencies. ठीक है, तो ये CPAM है, congenital pulmonary adenomatoid malformation. Oh, I don't remember if yeah, I think in Respi bonus BTR, we have discussed this congenital anomalies. That's why I was asking, was there CLO in the option? Congenital lobar hyperinflation would be one of the differentials here. But this, if it was a similar image, it's CPAM. It is not pyopneumothorax. Pyopneumothorax will be just like your hydropneumothorax. Pyo क्या होता है? Pus होता है. That will be your simple air fluid level that we have seen with hydropneumothorax. This is a CPAM, okay? This is not hernia. This is not diaphragmatic hernia, okay? Yeah, I am also not saying it is hernia. I am just saying when it looks like hernia. Congenital diaphragmatic hernia में कैसे lucencies मिलते हैं on left side, Bogdelic. If you don't know that, forget it. If you see something like that on the right side, that is CPAM. Okay. Right. So what were the other options? The other options, I believe, were congenital diaphragmatic hernia. One was pyopneumothorax and one was lung abscess. Yeah, ऐसा कुछ था. This is not lung abscess. In fact, they asked lung abscess in paper 2. Radiology, they have literally done normalization and how. If they've put one CPAM, they've put one lung abscess. If they've put one mediastinal thymoma, they've put one mediastinal teratoma. So they've really gone on the same topics in 2 different shifts. Probably they were, made together, I guess. I don't know. So this is what is CPAM. There was one coin. Every time this question has to come, but this time they asked you the sign. But I feel the options were very easy to be ruled out. Ek string sign tha, then something else, and then there was one double ring sign. So I think you guys could rule out that others definitely not fit. And in a button battery, we have discussed many times, you will see a double ring. So this is a double ring sign. The other options were easy to be ruled out. I think that's how most of you would have approached this. Okay. Next. Okay, next. Congenital lung malformation is this only. Okay, so अगर CPAM word नहीं होगा, है ना? तो हमेशा, okay, so this is congenital pulmonary airway malformation. So even if they did not give you this and congenital lung malformation was there, then that is the answer, okay? But I have doubts that that was there, but either ways, anything on the lines of this is the answer. ठीक है? Right. The other sign was, I think, thumb sign diya tha, steeple sign diya tha. So, obviously those are incorrect. Okay. So this was straightforward. ये ENT radio overlap थोड़ा सा tricky question था where they labeled one part of the cochlear implant. I believe इसको label करा था. Yes. So this was labeled and they asked थोड़ा सा tricky question था ये, and they asked you what is this. Even if you had to take a guess, what does this look like? ऐसा सीधा क्या होता है? Doesn't this look like an electrode? So here you could have just taken a logical guess कि यार electrode ही होगा. ऐसा straight क्या होता है? Which goes inside. That's the electrode, right? So this is what is the electrode here. So these are the parts of a cochlear implant in case you want to know. So this here is the outer part. It is what is the nucleus of the cochlear implant. So this is here the nucleus of the cochlear implant. What you see here is the magnet. So this is the outer unit, basically magnet and the outer nucleus. So this is what is here, and this is the part which goes inside. So your part 4 is the reference electrode, and I think that is the one which was labeled here. Okay, so this is the reference electrode here, and this is the electrode lead, and this is the intracochlear electrode. Okay, so electrode I believe was the answer. अगर receiver या ये सब option में था, electrode is the answer. Okay, ground electrode होगा, ground electrode सही होगा. Yeah, this was the ground electrode is the reference electrode. Okay, so that will be correct. Okay, ठीक है. ऐसा आया था. So this is anencephaly, again favorite question. So this is anencephaly. Either they show you do wala frog eye appearance, or they more commonly show you the sagittal image. Okay, so sagittal image, you can see the absence of the skull bone here, indicating anencephaly. Okay, ठीक है. Ground and electrode are not the same. It's a ground electrode. Reference electrode, ground electrode. तो वो वाला option सही होगा. Okay. फिर एक क्वेश्चन था सर्जरी ओवरलैप वेयर दे हैड गिवन यू मल्टीपल रिब फ्रैक्चर्स प्रोबेबली टू इंडिकेट फ्लेल चेस्ट एंड देन दे हैड आस्क्ड द टाइप ऑफ ब्रीदिंग. I think the options were easy to be ruled out. Biot's breathing, Kussmaul breathing, paradoxical breathing. Fourth option I don't know. So answer will be paradoxical breathing, right? In flail chest you can have paradoxical respiration. ठीक है? So this is what it was. Nobody could send me the exact image, but everybody described in many non-radiologically adequate terms that there was a swelling of the aorta जो ऊपर से दिख रहा था, जो blue color का था. I just got all of these vague descriptions, and the best I could make out, I couldn't find a blue image, but what I could understand is ऐसा कुछ reconstruction दिया था, right? So what you have here is that there is an aneurysmal dilatation. So this is an aneurysm arising from the arch of aorta. I think the options, there were two close options. One was a saccular aneurysm arising from the aorta, and one option was dissecting aneurysm, right? So now we are not seeing any dissection here. So this is not a dissection. In dissection, you know, we will see a double lumen appearance. You'll see an intimal flap. वो नहीं दिख रहा. So this best answer here is saccular aneurysm outpouching arising from the aorta. और क्या option थे? जो भी थे, वो wrong. Okay, yeah, same image, different color. Okay, don't focus on color. Focus on finding. It's okay, right? ठीक है. Next, ये shift 2 पे आई हूँ. Now I am on shift 2. There was this MRCP image. In MRCP image, you have this cystic classic image. This is the one we have seen, surgery BTR. This is the one where you have this dilatation, fusiform dilatation of the CBD. What is this? This is choledochal cyst. Why not choledochal lithiasis? Why not CBD stone? Because in CBD stone, you will have this, and here you will see this black signal void, which you're not seeing. So this is choledochal cyst. The other options were carcinoma, cholangiocarcinoma and stuff like that. This is not cholangiocarcinoma. This is choledochal cyst. Okay. कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं मैम dissection था. Okay. If you saw dissection, then it was dissecting, but in this image, there is no dissection, so saccular. So this will always remain, you know, whatever we have seen, we will feel that was correct, but I'm not sure. So both of the groups will be like, so I don't know if dissection was there, it's dissecting aneurysm. If you see a double lumen, if there is no double lumen, it's saccular aneurysm. So I'm telling you the concept here. Answer, we will have to see. So this is choledochal cyst. Now, two mediastinal masses came. This was shift 1, where they gave a classic. I think shift 1 was easier here because they gave the history of myasthenia gravis. Agar myasthenia gravis hai, and even if you don't know the radiology, to answer clear ho jata hai that it must be thymoma, because thymoma ka paraneoplastic syndrome is myasthenia gravis. Next image mein, next shift mein, there were one of these two images. More students shared this image, but this image is better image. So here what you can see is the presence of fat, the presence of calcification. In this you see only calcification. So anyways, whenever you have a mediastinal mass with fat and calcification, it is a mediastinal teratoma. So the answer here will be teratoma. दोनों कर रहे हैं, morning and evening, both questions we are discussing. ठीक है, so दोनों shift वाले, are you guys okay? Yeah, again ENT overlap, there was a question, this MRI was not there, just the CT was there, है ना? They mentioned something of a reddish tumor in the tympanic membrane. The moment I see this, I don't care about CT. What is the answer? When you see a rising sun appearance, pink mass, kya hai? It is glomus. Which glomus will you see in the ear? Only one. You had both options, right? You had glomus tympanicum and you had glomus jugulare. ईयर में कौन सा दिखेगा? टिम्पैनिकम दिखेगा, राइट? सो दिस इज व्हाट यू वांट टू रिमेंबर हियर, दैट दिस इज ग्लोमस tympanicum, not glomus jugulaire. Glomus, normally, you could, I mean, in practice, you can have glomus jugular tympanicum, in which there are both components. There is middle ear and then there is a jugular fossa compartment. But when you have to choose, when those were two different options, in that case, it will be glomus tympanicum, which is a better answer. The CT showing you that this middle ear here should be filled with air normally. यहाँ पे काला air होना चाहिए था, but you are seeing a soft tissue. But CT was immaterial here. I think the history was enough to lead you to the diagnosis, because as undergraduates, they shouldn't expect you to see a CT of glomus tympanicum. Temporal bone is the most difficult CT, which young radiologists struggle with, so they don't expect you to answer, but this should lead you to the diagnosis. Okay? Are you getting why I'm saying not jugular? Because उसमें ear में mass नहीं दिखेगा. That's why. Yeah. This is second shift now. So second shift में lung abscess आया था. I think straightforward. Many times we have studied this. Whenever you see a round mass with air fluid level, that's your lung abscess. So this is no controversy here, I guess. Next, again, second shift, you had a supracellar mass. So how do I know supracellar? So this is sphenoid. Sphenoid के नीचे cella है. So this is cellar, supracellar both, and it is very, very white. T1 hyper intense. Some clues were also there here to tell you that this is craniopharyngioma. Did they give you some clues that it's a child, it is cystic, there is wet keratin, machine oil, kuch diya tha. So this is craniopharyngioma, right? So on radiology alone, whenever you see a supracellar T1 hyperintense mass, it indicates the presence of keratin. Keratin ke wajah se this was craniopharyngioma. Teratoma was there in the option. That's what most of the students have said. I think you can recollect and we will discuss again. Yeah, kerosene oil दिया था, ठीक है. ऐसा question आया था where they mentioned about the tibial tuberosity. Did they mention an adolescent who has tenderness, tibial tuberosity? Straightforward, right? So that is Osgood-Schlatter disease. I've taught this many a time. So Osgood-Schlatter, tibial tuberosity, tenderness होएगा, adolescent दिया था. ऐसा कुछ था. So if they asked you anatomy of this is tibial tuberosity. If they ask you diagnosis, that's Osgood-Schlatter, happens in adolescents. ठीक है? Okay. Is that clear? Next. Simple question. They asked you diagnosis of this investigation, and not diagnosis. They asked you the name of this investigation. So lateral view tha. You can see barium going into the esophagus. जब esophagus आएगा तो barium swallow. Okay. What were the other options here? Barium meal होगा. Barium meal follow through. So this is barium swallow. Okay. So barium swallow. This is set 2, paper 2. You should know that, right? Which paper? If this didn't come in your exam, it's the other paper. Yes, भी second shift का है. They showed you a ring enhancing lesion with diffusion restriction. क्या है ये? This is brain abscess. So many times we have seen, you would tell me, ma'am, it is temporal lobe abscess, right? So this is ring enhancing with diffusion restriction. Okay? ठीक है? ऐसा image आया था? This also we have discussed, wherein I told you whenever you have this incomplete septation, this is classic radio image, a little bit tough. So normally a cyst will be black. Here you have this septation. So you have this septation whenever you have this incomplete septation and a tube. So you can see this tube-like configuration, isn't it? So what is this? This is hydrosalpinx. So this is hydrosalpinx. Lots of radiology questions. This is also paper 2. Yeah. So hydrosalpinx hai ye. Next. Okay. Why not TB or toxo? Because see, toxo mein to you can't mark toxo without immunocompromised patient. They will give you history of HIV/AIDS. That's why not toxoplasma. Plus toxo tends to be multiple. Second, why not TB? TB also tends to be multiple ring enhancing lesion. Okay, so there'll be multiple ring enhancing lesions which will merge into one another, will conglomerate. They'll give you some lipid lactate peak. So that is when you have to mark TB. A solitary ring enhancing lesion with complete diffusion restriction is an abscess. Okay? So this is our hydrosalpinx. This is also paper 2 where they showed you calcification along the pancreas. So this becomes chronic calcific pancreatitis. ठीक है, so this was chronic calcific pancreatitis. हाँ, दोनों पेपर मिक्स चल रहा है. Yeah, so this is chronic calcific pancreatitis. Next क्या है? आई थिंक ऐसा एक्सरे दिया था, हिस्ट्री ऑफ पैनक्रेटाइटिस दिया था, एंड देन दे गिवन यू अ चेस्ट एक्सरे. क्या लगता है? सिंपल क्वेश्चन, नॉट इवन रेडियो क्वेश्चन, इमेज देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. पैनक्रेटाइटिस एंड मल्टीफोकल अगर ओपेसिटीज मिल रही है चेस्ट में, व्हाट इज दिस? मोस्ट कॉमन कॉम्प्लिकेशन क्या होता है? ARDS. सो दिस इज ARDS. फाइन. फ्लोरोस्कोपी. अच्छा, इसमें फ्लोरोस्कोपी भी था क्या ऑप्शन में? बेरियम swallow था या बेरियम मील था? Because this technique is fluoroscopy. I mean, fluoroscopy is not wrong, but if barium swallow is in the option, then that's a better answer. या फिर ऐसा था कि fluoroscopy and barium meal था? Was it that there was no barium swallow, but there was fluoroscopy barium meal? Then your answer will change. Then fluoroscopy becomes a better answer. But if barium swallow was there, then barium swallow is a better answer. Yeah, so you have to tell me exactly what it is, because here your answer depends on the options. ARDS or ARDS is the same as non-cardiogenic pulmonary edema. Okay, so if that was there in the option, that's your correct answer. This is paper 2. Barium swallow tha, then barium swallow is the correct answer. But it is not very fair to give you fluoroscopy in the option. It's not very good question making in that case, because technique to fluoroscopy hoti hai. So that's what we do with barium swallow, but then they're asking the investigation. So the better answer becomes barium swallow, because fluoroscopy is just the X-ray technique. It doesn't become a specific answer. Yeah. So if both were in the options, then barium swallow is the more correct option. Right? Next. What is this? इसमें कुछ हिस्ट्री दिया था क्यारी 1 में. सो व्हाट यू कैन सी हियर, अगेन फॉर यू टू जस्ट पिक अप फ्रॉम द इमेज हियर इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. आई मीन कांट गिव यू दैट. दे मस्ट and options देख के you would have guessed that okay, carry देखना है, dandy walker देखना है. So whenever you see this line, basion opisthion line, and you see that the tonsil is below it, that is the hallmark of carry 1 malformation. This I have taught you many times. Don't confuse carry and dandy walker. Dandy walker will have a posterior fossa cyst. So I believe that is the main thing which you had to distinguish. Okay, so this is what is carry 1 malformation. Yeah, this is for tomorrow when we'll discuss all questions. So this is all which I have for radiology. If you have any other doubts or any other things which you feel I've not included, you can ask me now. But there are a lot of people waiting. So I mean, I don't want to stretch my time. I already have taken up a lot of time. Kind-Stoke was the 4th option. ठीक है, भूल जाओ. It was paradoxical only. Okay. ठीक है. So that's it. Any new questions or any other doubts that you have from radiology? Many questions. Yeah, I think disc herniation wala Apur se discuss kar denge, because it was about the localization. So sir will take it up. Yeah, sir will take it up. IV disc protrusion na sir bata denge. They had given localization of the thigh and they had asked you. Isn't that alkali ingestion? Very close option. Now we need to see the image here. Alkali ingestion is the diagnosis if you have a long stricture. Okay, so in this particular case, yeah, this does look like a caustic stricture also. So if it was that such random options, barium swallow, fluoroscopy, barium meal, and alkali ingestion, ye option the. Very random in that case, you know. Because the diagnosis here indeed is alkali ingestion, but how do you give diagnosis of technique versus pathology? So that's weird. In that case, alkali ingestion becomes a better answer, because there is a stricture. You can also see the stomach being narrowed if this was the actual image. Alkali and acid both were there. Are you sure you are talking about the same question? Now we are at 5 options. Kyuki. No barium meal, and instead of barium meal there was acid ingestion. On radiology, I cannot distinguish alkali versus acid. I think we'll have to put a pin on this. you will have to give me more details, and I'll let you know the answer to this, because on radiology I can't distinguish alkaline versus acid ingestion. Okay, we can't. Both of them look the same. So then I'm back to barium swallow as being the better answer. Right. One of the question here is yeah, one of the other questions was about a DJ stent as an X-ray, and they asked you what route. That I believe surgery faculty will also discuss, but it is usually cystourethropy, so urethro and cystoscopy, and that is how they insert. It can also be inserted. We as interventional radiologists do it via percutaneous nephrostomy route also, and I think both were in the option. So I'll let the surgery faculty decide what is a better answer, but I think cystourethropy is a better answer. Okay. What else? That's it. Okay. So I will let others take over. We'll do a full paper discussion in a day or two. Right. So yeah, that barium swallow question is weird. I agree. Okay. Don't lose heart on that. It's weird. And if the 4 options were barium swallow, alkali, acid, and fluoroscopy, first of all 4 are correct. You can't distinguish. All 4 of them, I mean, are different things only, but the best answer becomes barium swallow in that case. All right. Okay. Thank you so much.